everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Fashion Grunge podcast. I am your host, Lauren.
And I'm Joy. Hi.
Hey, we're back. It's a week later for us since the last time we recorded. Last one we did was Virgin Suicides.
Oh, yeah.
This is weird. Cool. Oh, we both had a birthday in between the last time we recorded, so that was cool. We share a birthday, so it's kind of crazy, but yeah. So we eat. What did you do? I didn't really do that. Anything.
Did I do? Well, I talked to you for like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, we did. We had like a Skype birthday party.
Yeah, we played music and I ate crisps and drank.
You made cake.
Yeah. I made a cake, my first cake ever. It was chocolate, and actually, it was good. Like, it really was.
So cool, yeah.
It was definitely up to my standards, so that's dangerous. It just means that I'm able to bake, which means...
Now you can just make chocolate cake. Like,
I can just do it. Like, I know, and yeah, which is not cool, but yeah. I made awesome. The best. I made the best out of the situation, I think. And
yeah, that's awesome. Because usually you just go to like a restaurant or, like for your birthday event. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, last year we were together.
In the beginning of the day. Yeah.
It was really cool. No, we were together all day until like 6 p.m.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was early. I was going to say. And then, then you went to dinner.
We got a tattoo, not matching tattoo, just for the record. No, not matching.
No, totally different. I got my fingers tattooed a year ago. So yeah.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
It's been a year.
That was like painful for you.
Yeah, that was pretty painful. It was kind of rough.
But yeah, like I just ate my favorite foods and I talked to family and friends and got gifts. So that was exciting.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I just got cupcakes the day after because that's the only time I can get them delivered, and I never want to see a cupcake for a while, but that's good because now I'm like kind of off sugar for a while. So this is good. Like that like total binge like kind of made it worth it because I don't want any sugar for like a minute. I had a lot of cupcakes. But
cupcakes are nice. But
they're so good. But yeah, so we're talking about SLC Punk. Oh my god, I don't even think I said anything. So bravo if you made it that far. You made it like 2.5 minutes before you figured out what we're reviewing for this episode. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, it'll be in the title. Obviously, you know what it is. But we're talking about SLC Punk from 1998, starring Matthew Lillard, basically. I mean, it's basically Matthew Lillard's movie. This is a movie that I have had on tape and also on DVD for quite a while. Yeah, I mean, I know it really well. It's like one of my favorite movies. Jai, did you just watch it right when I told you like about it? Like, this is what we're doing.
Yes, I watched it 2 days ago. For the first time. I never even heard of it before.
Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yeah, what were your like opening thoughts? And this is quite interesting because now that I'm watching it, I'm watching it through like a possible, like I'm trying to understand what your opinion will be of it because it's so specific to like America and even more specific down to the state of Utah, which a lot of Americans don't know anything about either. It's like a very like, not strange, but just a very different kind of city in America. So yeah, I'm kind of anxious to hear about coming from like completely the other side, like just seeing what this is about. So,
well, I had to say that, I wasn't a huge fan of the film.
Okay.
I feel that it's definitely a lot to do with the fact that I'm into more serious films. I think I just prefer anything that's like, I don't know, drama or dark or violent or sort of anything that's more just serious in general. I don't even think I watched comedies until 6 years ago. Like, I mean, I watched like a few rom-coms, like 10 Things I Hate About You and things like that.
Okay, you like that though.
Cool. I like that, yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like, I know it doesn't make any sense, but it's really hard for me to get around the fact that it's a film sort of about punk, but it's a comedy. It's kind of like, because it's not really a comedy. It's not really like, it's like half comedy, half serious. But then it's really hard because even as a serious film, it's not. Yeah, it's. I also have to say that I can't get past the fact that I don't like that main actor.
Oh, Matthew Lillard. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
that's like a. I think we were talking about this the other day when you'd watched like most of it. I think you had like a little bit left, and you were talking to me about it, and I was like, "Do you not want to do it?" And I was like, "No, this is going to be kind of interesting. I want to
surely
hear."
I can't be the only person.
No, definitely
That's gotta
not.
be no, like
Not
there's gotta
widely.
be. He seems like like I don't know. He'll be someone who people either love or hate. Like I
I
can't.
guess.
I don't know for sure, but like he just seems annoying. I don't know. Like he plays the same role. Like
I guess so. I mean, he's not in very much. I mean, I guess he is. I haven't seen him in a while. Like, I
but
haven't seen
like
him in
in
anything.
Scream, I feel that he
Yes.
plays the same character. He's just basically the same person. I do actually wonder whether that's just his personality and whether he's like that
Maybe.
in real life.
Yeah, I don't know much about it. Yeah, him in real life. I've never
Yeah,
seen like any interviews or anything with him.
I think I definitely know that's not it's not a reason to dislike a film, but I feel that as well as the comedy half serious punk thing, I feel that I couldn't get into it. And but to be fair, I did like the story, and I thought it was really cool that it was about the punk scene in Utah, which is, it's cool. It's better than like an obvious city like New York or LA.
Well,
Like you kind of
it's like a
expect
weird
people.
place.
Yeah, you sort of expect films about that to be filmed there, or like obviously like if it was a British film, it would be like the UK, right?
Hmm.
Where the scene was more not well known, but sort of,
Yeah.
But that was cool, and I definitely love seeing Utah because I haven't been there, but I kind of want to go. It looks cool.
Yeah, it looks like that. That was one of the
Yeah,
places they filmed it. So they actually did filming it in Utah, which is cool.
yeah, and so that was I like that a lot, and the fact that Jason Sewell, oh, I can't say it, is in
Oh yeah,
it.
Jason Segel. Yeah, I like him.
He's just I just really like him. I feel that he's just likable, and I think I've seen a lot of his films because my husband loves him. Like
Yeah, he's really good
actually
though.
loves him. This is how I got into comedies because like this
Oh,
kind
because
of
he like
comedies,
yeah. Oh, he watches
like
this movie.
what is that film called?
I
I
love you,
Love You,
man.
Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Paul Rudd. I saw that in the theater. It was great.
Yeah, I mean that film was actually so good.
Yeah, it is.
And I feel that I had never even go into that actor if it wasn't for my husband because he's American and he likes he loves comedies and
Did you see
sci-fi.
Did you see Freaks and Geeks before you knew who Jason Segel was, or did you see it after?
No, after, yeah.
Okay, so you already knew who he was when
Yeah, I
you saw
already
it.
knew him, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that's my overall thoughts for like,
Cool. Okay. Well, I own this film, but I hadn't seen it in a really long time. I mean, I think I first saw it when I was like 16, maybe. So, I obviously Matthew Lillard was like a not a big deal, but like he was like that indie. He was in that whole squad with like the guy Skeet Ulrich who was in Scream. Like they were in like various films, like how Skeet Ulrich was in The Craft. This was like another film that they kind of like publicized. I'm pretty sure there was some kind of like press thing about this because I remember renting it and like kind of knowing like, oh, I've seen this. Like I wanted to see this. So I didn't see it in the theater or anything. But yeah, I like it. I mean, I think this film is responsible for me getting into like the music that's on the soundtrack.
No way,
Because
really?
yeah, because I love the soundtrack a lot. And I don't think at that time when I was like 16, I knew anyone who liked this type of punk music, like Exploited, Fear, like those type of bands, that more like West Coast hardcore, like punk, like that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't know anyone that liked that. I also got into the Stooges because of this, because I loved the Stooges and the Velvet Underground song that's on here. Like I love the soundtrack. I mean, the
I
soundtrack,
love the music, yeah.
yeah,
she said that.
is like
Yeah.
that's a big part I think of this film and why I like it. The story now that I see it again through like a mid-30s eye is like pretty asinine, but when I hear when I like hear the music and stuff, I'm like, oh yeah, man, I remember like going and getting that Fear record because I heard like I love living in the city. Like I remember like seeing it in the movie and being like, oh, I love that song, and then going out and buying the album. So yeah, I mean, I guess I have like mine is all about the music. All I have for my notes were just like I like this outsider's view of like punk in a conservative city during Reagan. Obviously, an era I was a child, so I don't remember like the Reagan era like as if I was an adult. But it seems very much like pretty comparable to this era, and also like the era of like the George W. Bush and like that era, I guess in like the early 2000s. But kind of like yeah, it's just really interesting. I didn't know anything about Utah at the time. I mean, I have been there, so since then. But yeah, I didn't know anything about Utah, so I was just kind of like, oh, it's cool. So yeah, that's all I really have for like my general thoughts about it. I have some notes about the director, and it's written and directed by James Marandino. It's actually based on his own like upbringing in Salt Lake City, and being in a punk, and the people.
He moved there, right? When he was
and the people who are in the film are like kind of caricatures of people that he knew, or like not necessarily like his friends, but like they're kind of like based on people that he kind of sort of knew. So yeah, it was filmed in Salt Lake. They had a sequel that was funded by like Indiegogo, like kind of a Kickstarter, that happened in 2014, but Matthew Lillard and Jason Segel were not in it.
Okay.
I did not watch it. It's been on Netflix for a while. I kind of really like this film, and the fact that it was made in like 2016, I just feel like, I don't know, I kind of like the story the way it is. I'm kind of not interested in seeing the sequel.
So, wait, did he write and direct the film, or just direct? Yeah, he did.
He wrote and directed it.
And the sequel as well?
I think so.
He must be really into punk then, because to write and make a movie, well, 2 movies about that, he's got to be into that,
Well, yeah. No, well, the thing is, I think a lot of people wanted there to be a sequel, which is kind of weird because it was all funded on Indiegogo. I remember seeing like you can contribute and like this movie is gonna get made, and I was like, what? I was like, they're actually like crowdsourcing the sequel. Like, I kind of thought the movie was over. I didn't really think there was anything. It ended. You know what I mean? Like the film ended. It wasn't like it was like a series, and it just didn't get made again. So I was kind of confused about that, but that's why I kind of have no interest in seeing the sequel, because I like the way it is. I don't really want to know anything else.
It's not like Trainspotting.
No.
Like,
and even Trainspotting, when I first heard about Trainspotting, I was like, oh, really? But then I saw more of like the trailer. I heard more information. I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of gonna be awesome. And I saw it like twice in the theater.
Good. It's actually
fucking dope.
Like, so much material to do a second one.
Good.
Like, yeah, so good.
So I mean, that was like a different, which we will definitely get to, Trainspotting and T2 Trainspotting. Like, we definitely have to do those reviews because those are up there. And also, this was chosen by Sundance Film Festival in '99 as the opening night feature. So I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was kind of like a thing, I guess. I mean, I was obviously too young there. I was in high school.
So what did the critics say? Like, it was mixed reviews. Well,
it was mixed reviews, but a lot of people really liked Matthew Lillard's performance, because people I think hadn't seen him longer than Scream, which he was kind of a caricature, but this one, like, he had a personality, he had a lot of narration. And a lot of like fourth wall breaking and kind of like explaining like more into like what he's talking about here. And then the story is really interesting. I love how the story breaks like that. Like, you'll do something, and I love how the time just jumps, and then it'll be, like, a weird section of, like, him explaining why they hate, like, rednecks. And then it's, like, this, for, like, 5 minutes, cool. And then it'll... Like, I like how the story does that. I think it's cool, and it's very, like, cut. It's just, like... And then this happened, and then we went to a party, and then we went to this, like, crazy punk show, and then we went to this kid's house. And it just reminds me so much of growing up when there was so much of that. Like, there were so many house parties. There were so many places to go, and then you just go somewhere else. Like, it just seems very, like, youthful, I guess.
Yeah, no, the story was cool. I honestly thought that if he had been different actors, and maybe it would have been better.
Do you think?
No. If the movie had been a bit more serious with a different actor, like, as a main...
Oh, I see, yeah. I see kind of what you mean, though.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, it would have been better if he had been not a comedy, basically.
Yeah, if there weren't any like funny moments, if it was all just kind of like very dramatic.
Yeah, like not funny, but not ha funny, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the scene where the guy, not Bob, it was the other guy that gets that sells acid. You know that he gets Mark, and like he
the German guy.
He's running with this acid, and then he gets
oh
wet.
no! Oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, Sean. In like, the very beginning, yeah.
And then he's there, sort of frozen outside his house. It's kind of like it's meant to be funny, but it wasn't, and it was. You know what I mean? It's like scenes like that.
I guess so. I fucking love that scene.
You love that? Oh,
I think I posted it on Instagram, and it's still one of the most viewed things. Like people still comment on it. They're like, "What movie is this from? Oh my god, this is so funny." Oh yeah. It's like that's like a big scene. That's like a lot of people.
Okay,
like
so then
scene.
It's cultural. Then maybe I just don't get it. You know?
Yeah, maybe like that. I mean, I definitely love that. I love the funny parts of this movie, I guess. I mean, I just think it's really funny.
But there are some funny ones, but not
I think that actually is on my favorite scene list. It's like,
right?
It's the first one is Sean gets acid dissolved into his leg. That's literally like, so we've already discussed that my favorite scene is one of your least favorite scenes.
Oh, all right.
So that's really funny, but...
So I guess that's your first scene. How many do you have? Like quite a few, I guess.
Quite a few. I mean, we still have to talk about like the theme and the fashion because the fashion's so
okay. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So yeah, we'll get there. But let's talk about like the theme and the whole mood. Like, what did you think about seeing Salt Lake City? Because you do see a fair amount of it in this film. There are a lot of yeah. Like, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. I feel like it looks sort of industrial, but then it has this really beautiful sort of nature.
Yeah, the mountains are beautiful.
Like there is a scene where they drive to this area, but I don't know what it's called. I'm guessing it's like a famous spot.
I think it's like a park, right?
But it looks like they're standing on ice, and like it's just
the salt flats.
The salt flats.
That's the salt flats.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's like far out. Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen that like on Instagram somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, I totally, and I think other films have definitely like. Also, you know the movie Independence Day. Have you seen that?
I've seen that, yes.
Okay, well they have those white sands in like New Mexico. You know, in the end when they land.
Yeah,
and like they're walking. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, that's like some of that I think is in New Mexico, but it's in that area like Utah, New Mexico, like it's in that general region.
Yeah, I mean honestly, I heard things about Utah, but watching this made me definitely want to go there.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
I mean, I do want to go everywhere in the US because
it's so
the US
different.
Is like huge and amazing, and you know,
it's huge, yeah.
But anyway, I do like that, and I thought they did a really good job with like fashion and set design, like everything from like the parties look really kind of on point, you know.
Yeah, I love how they're very chaotic. Like even the parties are kind of mosh pits.
Yeah, and
I like that.
Yeah, I like that. It just looked really sort of real and
I feel
genuine.
Like this whole film, you're just like, if only Matthew Lillard was replaced by like, I don't know, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal or some shit. Like,
oh my god,
you would be like super into it. Like someone like that. You're like, yes, Jake Gyllenhaal.
You do end up getting into films just because of the actors, you know.
Yeah, I mean like, that's true.
I feel like the main person, like the main actor, really carries the film and the mood, and like, I don't know.
That's true.
Especially. Yeah, but anyway, I do love everything that Steve-O wears.
Yeah,
they did a really cool job with
his style.
Like that outfit with he's wearing a blue checked blazer with a blue floral shirt and blue pants.
Yeah.
That was cool. I mean, and then he changes for the party, the scene after that, and he just wears a t-shirt instead of a shirt, and it's like a white t-shirt with some I don't know, like some sort of slogan.
Yeah.
Like it looks pretty like DIY sort of thing. Yeah, I thought the fashion looked incredible. Like I'm actually surprised that because we both checked the costume designer.
Yeah. Fiona Kirschbaum, I think her name is.
She really do anything like big like after all that? But yeah, those are like my favorite like sort of fashion notes. So yeah, what about you?
Cool. Let's see. I just have I love everything Steve-O wears too. I love
Yeah.
his like mismatch. Like I love the plaids and I love all the like and I love that he's so tall and lanky. So like when his pants are like really short and you see his socks and then he has combat boots, like blue Doc Martens that are really
Oh
cool.
yeah.
And then he has like
Yeah.
the long johns, which I also like the long john look on the guy who was on acid. How he has like a double white shirt and then he has like green like army pants with
Oh
that when
yeah,
he
that
was
was cool.
running.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, no,
I
that
like
was
that
really cool.
outfit. I love the
That's a cool outfit.
mods. I like love the mods that they're mods in town, and I love that one of them is James Duval because I love James Duval. He's in like a lot of Gregoraki
Yeah,
films, which
he's
we'll get
cool.
to. He's oh God, I love James
And
Duval.
that girl,
And Summer Phoenix is
Yeah,
in
Summer
the end.
Phoenix,
Yeah,
yes.
Brandy,
Yeah.
Joaquin's sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like she's also really cool. Michael Goorjian, who is Heroin Bob, he's also really cool. I like Michael Goorjian a lot. And it's so weird because I didn't think of it the other day until I told one of my other friends that I was doing this movie and they were like, "Oh, that's so cool. I love that movie. I can't wait to hear like the episode." And then I was like, "Yeah, it's going to be really interesting." And then he was like, "Yeah, well, I love how Heroin Bob is essentially like Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver." Like
Oh
the
my God.
whole and I was like, "Oh my God, you're
Uh,
totally
I
right."
literally was gonna say that. He looks identical. Like
Yeah,
even his
everything.
features and like obviously the hair.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that must have been like
Has
some
to
sort
be,
of um
right? It has to be.
like it had to be like a reference for sure. Like this is so,
Hmm.
so reference for this character.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
totally.
pretty cool. Um
I love the
and
mods and the girls' clothes. I wasn't in love with. I think I was more in love with the guys' clothes. Like the girl Sandy, who Steve is like kind of sort of sleeping with. Like I don't like her clothes. It's like they're super like they're very like almost like what I used to wear. Like I didn't wear anything that interesting. I wasn't fashion forward, but it was like whatever. That's how she dressed. He dressed like really cool. Like I love that red check blazer that he has near the end with the bright green shirt underneath. Okay, so getting back to the girls' fashion in the movie, I guess I wasn't as inspired by it as I was with the guys. I guess because it was about him. I guess he had more of like the interesting outfits. He had a lot of outfit changes too.
he did, yeah. I mean
Steve-O.
the girls like didn't wear amazing outfits, but their hair was cool. Hair and makeup, I
Yeah,
thought.
that's true. Yeah, especially Sandy.
Yeah,
She
she
had
had
like
the
tons
coolest
of
hair.
eyeliner. She had like tons of eyeliner on and like that weird like rat's nest kind of hair.
Wait, is she the one with lilac hair?
No, 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 that's Trish. Sandy's the one that like remember Steve-O walked in on her sleeping with
Oh,
another
yeah, yeah.
guy.
Okay, correct. That
Yeah.
was Trish. Okay.
No, no, no. Trish had like wigs and stuff. Trish is really cool.
Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah, no, Sandy didn't. She had like rat's nest kind of hair and like tons of eyeliner. Her outfits were kind of like blah. They remind me of like what I used to wear. Like very like blah, like whatever, just kind of like sloppy whatever. But yeah, no, Trish was like cool. She had a vibe. She had owned the head shop. She was like in her 30s, man. She was
Oh,
cool.
really? Oh, she looks
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, she's
Looks
supposed to be in her
amazing.
30s because they were like talking about it with Bob. They're like, haha, isn't she like in her 30s? And he's like, so what, man? She's like really smart. And she's like really cool and everything. And they're like, whatever. But yeah,
But not in real life, though. Or you mean in real life?
no, no, I mean in the story.
Oh,
I don't know
great.
how old she
Okay. I
was in
thought
real
you
life.
meant like she was like,
No,
oh,
she was
okay.
supposed to be older, I think, than they were. She's supposed to be like cool and like this independent woman kind of.
Yeah, I love the necklaces that Steve wears.
Yeah,
They're
with the
so
razor
cool.
blade and the
Yeah.
lock and stuff. Yeah, they are really cool. Yeah, his outfits are some of my favorites, like in movies. I love how
You know
vibrant
that.
they are and like, they're just like so over the top. I love his leather jacket. He like looks good in so much. I think Matthew Lillard because he's so tall and skinny, like he looks so good in that black leather jacket and like when he's in his dad's Porsche and he has
Oh
like
yeah,
brown
he
plaid
did.
pants and like
Yeah.
a green thing and the blue hair like totally ties in so well that it's blue because
Yeah.
like his walls are blue in his apartment and like his like weird loft and like he wears a lot of blue pants.
He does, yeah. There's a lot of blue going on. Yeah, his
Yeah, it's
hair,
cool.
everything, yeah.
It's
I
really
feel like
cool.
the fashion that he wore and stuff, it was pretty much inspired by sort of England like punk scene, because
it was
like
vibrant.
because they did wear a lot of that sort of like suits, like but red,
Plaid.
red plaids suit or blazers, even like matching trousers, and it just felt more British than American sort of punk scene. Like
because American punk, I think of like New York. I think of like black and like like just like the Ramones.
Yeah,
like
exactly,
black leather jackets and just kind of like, or just like black and like Lou Reed, just kind of like black and white and kind of like chill, nothing like crazy.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And LA as well, right? It was very different.
Yeah, LA is a little bit different. Like Germs like is like in the 80s punk band. Like they were still kind of like leather jackets, dark. But yeah, kind of different. Yeah, definitely not like Steve-O. No one I think was that bright except for England.
Yeah.
Like Sex Pistols. Like they'd wear like, wouldn't John Lydon would wear like yellow.
Oh, they did.
And like, and like pink
and
like, like that kind of stuff.
Have you seen like photos of Vivienne Westwood in the 70s?
I mean, so cool. Those red plaid pants with like the straps, like
she
the
just
bondage
has
straps.
like the most amazing outfits. And
we have to review. Okay, I was talking about this with Jai the other day, which is really awesome, or with you, that we should review this documentary film called Punk Attitude that's on YouTube, so it'll be cool. Like everybody can watch it. And there's a lot about Vivienne Westwood, and it has a lot of like the UK side because it's made by a British film director. So it has like a lot of like his whole own experience with hanging out with all these punk bands, and he was a DJ.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's really cool. And then they talk about New York, like they really give an equal like scene, and like they talk a lot to different people in the scene, and they give you like this great well-rounded like view of punk. Like I learned so much from that documentary, and it's so interesting. And Vivienne Westwood's in it. They talk about like the sex shop and how the whole thing started and like Kings Road. It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
She's like, she was responsible for the Sex Pistols look.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I mean, she's still like just amazing.
Yeah, she's still so like awesome.
70 and she still wears such crazy clothes and
she's so cool. But yeah, I guess that's all I have. I really love the whole like fourth wall breaking, like we talked about earlier. I love that like Steve-O like talks like to the camera and like talks to you and is kind of explaining to you about like what happens,
Yeah. What are your favorite scenes?
My favorite scenes? Okay, the first one is obviously the one that I think you're not gonna like, is the one where Sean gets acid dissolved in his leg, because I fucking like. I've seen kids like not OD on acid, but I've seen people in like that kind of state. And I guess it's just like, it's really funny because I was like 15, 16 and all that stuff hadn't happened yet. And it happened later in life. And I saw this kind of stuff and I just thought it was so funny. I mean, yeah, let's do one-on-one. Okay, like what is yours? I don't even know if you're gonna even have any. I'm surprised
I just need to add that I can't believe that's one of your favorite scenes, and that's one of the scenes I hate.
I know I have a lot of favorite scenes though. I mean, to be honest, I have like 5.
Okay, I have 3.
Oh, okay, cool. I really want to know yours.
Okay,
you didn't like
so one of them, this is not in any particular order.
Okay.
When Mike hits the bouncer, because it's just so unexpected, and because it's Jason, he's just amazing, and it's just so funny because he dresses like a geek, and at this point, up to that point, you didn't really know what he was doing there, because he looks like.
I have a friend just like this. He is one of my oldest friends in life. He has been to so many like different punk shows and rock shows with me, and he's almost exactly like Jason Segel.
Really?
I cannot wait to get him on an episode. I'm gonna coax him out of hiding. He's like super private. He's an incredible writer. Like he's such a good writer. And like I'm trying to get him to do, because we talk about everything. Like we've known each other since we were kids. And I have a bonus episode coming up with one of my friends. We talk about the movie Go, if anyone has seen that, by Doug Liman. It's fucking crazy. It's really good. So yeah, that'll be coming out soon, but I'm trying to get my friend to do it. It reminds me so much of him. It's out of control.
Does he dress like him?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Really?
He totally wears like I go shopping
like
with him.
Wow.
I go shopping with him. He literally gets just like khakis from wherever and like button-up shirts from like anywhere. Costco. Goes to work. Does not give a fuck. Like 6'3", big dude. will totally fuck anyone up. Like for any reason. Like it's great. Like he's a character and he's
Yeah, I
got
love
great
that.
stories. Yeah, and he is totally this guy.
Well, you just don't expect it, because you
Not at
see
all.
a guy dressed
He's
like that.
obsessed with biology, obsessed with David Attenborough specials.
Oh my god, I love David Attenborough.
He knows
He's
everything about
amazing.
random animal species. Like it's insane. Like he knows everything. He knows every like Oscar winner from like here to like 1970. Like he can tell you who won all the major categories. It's crazy. Like
Wow,
he's
that's
a
so
character.
funny.
He's a
It's
character.
weird because I have a friend too who he used to be my flatmate, but he's really tall. He looks like Jason Steele, like the same, like sorry, Steele. I can't ever say his last name. Um, he looks like him, kind of geeky, nerdy looking. And he wears preppy clothes, but he's gay. And
Yeah, so is my friend too.
and the crazy thing is like if someone was to disrespect me and I was out with him, he will kick the shit out of this person. And not that happened, but I sort of saw him getting really violent with someone, but it wasn't because he was offending me. But anyway, but it's so weird when, you meet someone who's really sweet. Like he's the cutest person. And
it's really
just a sweetheart.
cool.
He's Scottish. And then he said to me when I saw him really like violent, like basically hitting someone, he was like, you don't understand. I was like, I did not see that coming. He's like, in Scotland you can't be soft and gay because you'll get the shit kicked out of you, so you have to learn to be tough. So I had to learn to fight. Isn't it crazy? Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I love that. I guess it sort of added to the story that
it's cool.
they're hanging out with this guy who looks like a geek, but then he's kind of hardcore.
Yeah,
and I love that scene where he when he hits the bouncer. That's funny.
Oh, cool.
What's your second one?
Let's see. My second one is I love the whole bit with Steve-O, the whole conversation with Steve-O and his parents after he graduated high school.
I knew you would say that. I
love when he's like, why the hell did you fucking move here? You used to live in New York City and you're just like bullshit and you're a lawyer and like, I can't even stand this. Like, I love that scene. I always have.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had that written down as a second one, but then I changed my mind. I was like,
okay, what's yours?
Yeah. Okay, it's when Steve goes to the hospital with Mike and Sandy to see Bob, right? And so they get there and the nurse asks if they've seen The Exorcist, and Mike says, "Why? Is it dangerous?" And then they just go in, and it's just funny because it looks kind of like you would not be in a hospital for 3 weeks if you had that. Like,
no, not at all. It was like
some kind of infection. I mean, that's totally believable that it will get infected because you didn't get it treated, but you wouldn't be there like for 3 weeks.
No.
And,
This is crazy because now the word quarantine has like a whole new meaning.
It
so
does.
when I see quarantine, I'm just like, oh fuck, like I can't.
It will forever mean pandemic, like COVID-19.
Well,
unless something worse comes along, and then I guess hopefully not. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
What's your other one?
Okay, I have like 3 others. I love Mark in general, the German guy who like sells them weed and acid. I just think he's fucking weird. And I think like partly because I used to like get stoned and watch this movie that I just think it's so indicative of so many times when I was young and like had to get weed from random people and had to like sit in random people's houses and hear them like do this exact thing. So I think I was like, because it was really, I mean, weed is like obviously a lot more accessible now for even teenagers. This kind of really reminds you like how weird it was to get just a little bit of weed when now people are like walking around like with pounds, I guess. Not pounds, but you know what I mean? Like a lot of states have it legalized, so you can just buy it. But that definitely wasn't the case in 1985 in Utah. So I can imagine like he was one of a few people they could even get anything from. So you have to like sit through random shit. And I loved his house. It was so modern and European and 80s and weird.
It was
just
cool.
So
yeah, no,
cool
he's such a weird dude.
He was such a weird guy. He had that gun. He stole that car, and then he was like talking about like that's why there's so much dust because the world like can't clean itself, and like he's just talking about all these like weird things you definitely say when you're stoned.
Yeah, but also because you'll get some people get paranoid.
Yeah,
so like
he was
paranoid. Makes sense. Like he was like, "You took all my shit.
Yeah,
you stole it."
He was really funny, and then I love how he kind of ended out of the story where they saw them in a head shop, and then he was like, "Fuck you, you guys are stupid. I'm going to Miami," and they were like, "And that's the end of Mark. We never saw him again. We have no idea what happened to him." I was
Yeah,
like,
no, that's cool.
yeah, it was super weird. Yeah, do you have another one? What's your last
Yeah.
one?
Okay, so it's when Bob dies, and basically everything after that, which is the last sort of 8 minutes or so.
Okay.
I feel like I just really love the drama and sadness of that, because
Like when he finds him, you mean? Like
yeah, when he finds
when he
him,
finds him.
and then Steve actually plays that role well. Like he actually like cries, and
Yeah, he's like really.
it's kind of like he says some funny things, but he just feels more genuine, I guess, and believable. And as I said, I just like serious films and sad. So I guess for me that was sort of perfect. And
Oh yeah.
and it also kind of marks the end of an era, because he says that his friend, his friend who just died, Bob, got him into punk in the first place.
That's one of my favorite scenes, is when they discover it.
So basically, he finds him dead, then he's upset about it, and then you kind of get the idea that, I mean, he does shave his head, I guess, his hair, and like goes to the funeral, and you sort of, they don't show it, but it sort of gives you the idea that he's going to change after that, because he can't do more damage by becoming part of the system rather than from outside. And so I guess from the moment he finds Bob to the end, I love that, everything that happened. Yeah, so that's my favorite scenes, I guess.
Yeah, one of my, the last two that I have, the one after my, because mine were in order, I guess. The one after Mark's scenes are when they go to Wyoming to buy beer.
Oh, yeah.
Which I love that, because I really like Eddie. The character that comes in for like a hot second, who has that crazy big Cadillac when they drive out to Wyoming. I really love that whole scene where like those people think they're weird, and they like say they're like devil worshippers, and they like run out.
That was weird. Yeah,
it was really weird, but I really like that scene a lot. And then my last one is the flashback to when they're kids discovering punk rock, and they play like Generation X, which I thought was so cool. I love when he's like, "Hey man, like you just don't know. I know a guy in LA, and like listen to this cool tape." I feel like that reminds me a lot of when I was like 10 and someone was like, "Yo, you got to hear this band." And it was like my friend's older brother, and it was Nirvana, and it was like, "This is like the fucking shit, man." I think I heard like Smells Like Teen Spirit at one point before, but like he was like, "This is so cool. This is going to change the world." And I was like, "Man, that's whatever. Okay, cool." And then I was just like super got into it. And then it just reminds you of like being a kid when you're like, hear this new thing. And when it's music, like music is just so powerful.
It is.
And it's just like, I was like, oh man, I can remember being just like these kids and like, discovering bands and like reading magazines and, just like that whole vibe. Yeah. So that's why I really like that scene. That was like, I don't know. I always love it. Every time I see it, I'm just like, oh, I love this part of the movie.
Yeah, no, that was cool.
Yeah, that's kind of all I had. I mean, I love a little like honorable mention. I love Summer Phoenix. I love when Brandy comes in and gives him that speech about like, well, that's not like rebelling. That's just fashion.
That's
like,
just fashion. Yeah,
you just choose to wear this, like, that, and she kind of like breaks him down and kind of says
I like that. That's cool.
I like that. I really like Brandy. I like how she's just in the last bit, which is really funny.
But I feel people are gonna hate me for saying this, I'm sure, but I don't think she's a good actress.
She doesn't really do that now, though. I don't think that's that big.
Well, I mean, I like her. I love that. Like, didn't she have a podcast with her
She
sister?
does. Yeah.
Right?
She does. I think it's Launch Left.
Yeah, I like that. I listened to
the episode with Joaquin is so great because it's like the best interview you'll ever hear, because it's just like his
Did
sisters.
I listen to that? I don't know.
Did you? It's just like his sisters. It's really cool.
But I'm pretty sure I did. Anyway, I think they're all cool.
Yeah, she's really cool. Yeah.
But I don't think she was like a standing actress in that scene.
Oh, no, I just like her character.
But yeah, her character's
I
cool,
really like
and
her.
she's super cute.
Cool.
I mean, she's
she looks really cool. And then I don't think she really acts anymore. She like does the podcast, and she was married to Casey Affleck. I think she has a
Oh, really?
I think she has a few kids with him.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so something else about I also really love the scene where Sandy and Steve-O drop acid. That one like just felt so real. I remember like when I first watched it, I was like, this is scary. And then when like I've been through experiences like that, I was like, this is exactly what it's fucking like. Like it's like really fucking weird.
Oh my god,
like,
you did acid?
Yeah. And
really?
Like and some other like hallucinogens way back in the day, but like it's totally like that. I mean, it's like that's realistic, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's weird. But I like it. I like how it was filmed a lot. I just love like the way it just looked and everything. It was really cool. And maybe I'll watch the sequel. I don't think so because I really like this, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just kind of curious like what it is. But I'm glad that you saw it. And now maybe there'll be, I don't know, maybe you'll see a reference somewhere. Listen to the whole soundtrack. It's great.
Yeah, the soundtrack is amazing. Literally every song I love, you know, and I know it all pretty much.
Nice.
And that's always really cool. But cool. I don't think I'll be watching the sequel, so yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I probably won't either. I kind of like how it is, but yeah, this was super fun. Yeah, well, you'll see what we'll do on the next one. I won't say anything because who knows what will end up coming out next, but I'm pretty sure we know. But yeah, I mean, like and subscribe, do all that jazz. Again, I forgot to say it at the top.
You always forget.
I need to make like a Post-it note to just stick on the screen.
You know,
and that when I record, I'm like,
I always say to myself, I'm going to remind Lauren at the beginning, and I also forget. So
yeah, so okay. I mean, hopefully, you know, you've made it this far. If you have, then awesome. But yeah, so well, I mean, I'll do it. I'm gonna have to put a Post-it on the screen. So when I record, I see it, and I'm like, oh yeah, like and subscribe.
Set an alarm on your phone. Set like an actual, you know, reminder.
Like a reminder. Yeah, I'll do that reminder thing. I probably have to do that anyway for a million other things, but yeah. But yeah, this was super fun, and we will see you on the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.